Sarah stood by the window in her living room, staring out into the dark street. The clock read 1:58 a.m. The neighborhood was asleep, but her body was waking up, slowly, urgently. A dull ache swirled around her lower back, and her hands trembled slightly as she pressed her palm against the round swell of her belly. Outside, rain had started to fall gently. The sound was soft, like whispers against the earth. "I think it's happening," she murmured into the silence, her voice more a question than a statement. From the bedroom, Daniel's groggy voice answered, "What, now?" In the bathroom, Sarah stared at herself in the mirror. Her eyes looked older. Wiser. Her body was no longer her own, swollen feet, deep stretch marks, and the quiet strength of a woman who had endured too much to look away now. Daniel walked in, alert now, moving fast. He had prepared this moment like a soldier, the bag packed by the door, the car fueled and parked facing out. He met Sarah's eyes in the mirror. "You ready?" he asked. She didn't reply. She reached for her wedding ring, twisted it once. Then she nodded. As they drove, Sarah's mind drifted. 2 years ago, they had decorated a nursery painted in shades of lilac and gold. There was a cloud-shaped lamp and a white rocking chair that creaked like old bones. And then came the day everything stopped. "She's gone," the doctor had said, like it was weather. Like it was news. Sarah had screamed until she lost her voice. And Daniel had punched the wall so hard, his knuckles bled. They never returned to that house. Never. The hospital was quiet at 2:30 a.m., but inside, the ward was a different world, fluorescent lights, nurses moving swiftly, a woman in the next room already screaming. Sarah clutched her belly as a contraction rippled through her. She winced. "Breathe, baby," Daniel whispered. The triage nurse helped her into a wheelchair. "You're in active labor. Room 6 is ready." Room 6. That was the same room where hope was born still. Sarah froze. "Can we get another room?" The nurse hesitated. "Of course." They moved her to room 4 instead. Time became something else, not hours, not minutes. Just waves. The contractions intensified, building like thunder in her spine. Daniel read her affirmations they'd written together during her 3rd trimester. "Your body knows what to do. You were born for this. Every pain is one step closer to life." Sarah whispered, "I'm scared." Daniel kissed her hand. "So am I. But this time, we're not alone." The midwife, Nurse Ifioma, was an older woman with kind eyes and steady hands. "I've been doing this for 30 years, she said. "And I've seen miracles. Even after sorrow. Especially after sorrow." Sarah gripped her hand. "Will I hear her cry?" Ifioma smiled. "Yes. And you'll cry too. And it will be healing." At one point, between contractions, Sarah swore she felt someone sit beside her, even though Daniel was standing across the room. She turned. No one. But something. A presence. A breeze. A whisper. "Mama." She closed her eyes. Her late mother. She had died when Sarah was 17. She never got to see Sarah pregnant. "You're not alone," the voice seemed to say. "Push through. Life is waiting." At 6:19 a.m., Sarah said, "I can't do this anymore." Her face was red, drenched in sweat. She looked like she had gone to war. Ifioma held her shoulders. "That means you're close. When you think you can't go on, that's when the baby is almost here." Daniel was crying silently. "I see the head," said the doctor. Sarah let out a roar, not a scream, a roar. Like something ancient had awakened in her. 6:24 a.m. The baby slipped into the world like light bursting through clouds. A cry. A scream of arrival. Not Hope's silence, but Amara's song. Daniel dropped to his knees. Sarah sobbed. The doctor placed the baby on her chest. Tiny. Pink. Breathing. She's perfect, Ifioma whispered. Sarah laughed through her tears. She's real. Amara latched to her breast moments later. Her suckling was strong, urgent. Sarah stared at her daughter. You are the answer to every silent prayer. Daniel leaned in and kissed her hair. You brought her home. No, Sarah said. We brought her through. Later, they filled out the birth certificate. Full name? The nurse asked. Amara Chidima Ease, Sarah said. Amara, Grace. Chidima, God is good. And beneath, in small handwriting, she added. Born after hope. 3 weeks later, Sarah and Daniel returned to the old house. The one with the nursery. They brought Amara in her sling. In the backyard stood a flowering tree they planted after Hope was buried. It had bloomed every season without fail. Sarah placed a tiny bracelet on one branch, the one they had made for Hope, never worn. And beneath the tree, she whispered. You were the first heartbeat I ever loved. And your sister will know your name. You opened the gate. And through it, she came. That night, Sarah wrote in her journal. To every mother who fears the labor room like a battlefield. You are not weak. You are not cursed. You are not alone. Every tear, every scream, every second of grief will become the soil from which joy will bloom. I lost a child. But I did not lose myself. And now, I carry 2 hearts. One in memory. One in my arms.